shit talking like that, bro?
I be talking crazy, bro. I be talking crazy, but I don't really do it to like the locals. But when we get when the imports come in, like the ex-NBA guys, I like to get into it with them.
Oh,
because that's how I grew up playing. Like that's how we grew up playing. So they get it more than the locals do. You know what I'm saying? Like the locals think I'm trying to start fights and shit. But with the American dudes that come in, like they just get it more. It makes the game fun.
No, that's what's up.
President. We back again.
Oh yeah, you know what time it is.
Plug Podcast 11.
Yes, sir.
I think your favorite number is...
Oh yeah, 11, man. 11.
Welcome back. I hope you've been enjoying the Plug Podcast. We've been having a lot of great guests.
So far, so good, man.
Man, we
got. You want to get to that?
We go get into that. I want to make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Facebook, as well as Spotify, anywhere you can find a podcast. Make sure you check us out, the Plug Podcast, Jay Alamo. Today on Plug Podcast 11.
Oh yes, we got a legend, huh? I heard we got a legend coming through.
Ooh, oh my God.
Yeah. Hey, you
I'm
know,
a legend. We got San Antonio's own legend, Chris Ross, joining the show today, and he's joining from the Philippines. So,
oh man, overseas?
Good morning, good night, good afternoon, however you listening and watching. Welcome to the Plug Podcast. We're going to cover a lot of good topics with Chris Ross here today. We're going to cover so many bases. It's going to be a fantastic interview with San Antonio's legend, Chris Ross. Anything before we jump into this interview with Chris Ross?
Oh,
President?
yeah. Well, you know we're going to be hitting him on a lot of different topics today. We want to, of course, know about how, because, he's a baller. So we got to figure out how he's still keeping in shape, you know. Any recommendation he could do or he could send to upcoming ballers. Yep. We also want to talk about what's going on. Everybody knows what's going on in the news, the Black Lives Matter movement. Yep. He made a very, I think, a fantastic post with Slam Magazine. If you didn't read the quote, you should check it out because we're going to be going in emphasis on that. We're going to be talking about that.
Very good.
And, we got a lot more headed our direction.
Man, so if you guys haven't already, like I said, subscribe to our channel. It's only momentum from here. We want to also shout out King Cutz himself as well as plugging us in with this interview as well. So shout out to King Cutz himself. Shout out to Big Brothers Barbershop as well. Like I said, if you're looking for a good haircut in Calabria, just in San Antonio in general.
You can't find any place better.
Yeah, Big Brothers Barbershop. Want to shout out Duckpond Films, doing a great job with the kids, giving back. And displaying some of the great talent we have here in South Texas. Last but not least, we also want to shout out Bear Clothing, sports apparel. So definitely, if you're looking for some good apparel, here's some good pictures with some of the athletes he endorses. And then I have one more shout out to Ape Life Clothing. We didn't get to say what's up to Ape Life on the last one, so definitely shout out to Ape Life Clothing. If you're looking for some nice merch, there's the link right there. So, President, I think we don't have to waste some more time.
Oh, hell no. Let's get into this, man. Come on, man.
Let's get straight into this music video, and we'll be right back with Chris Ross. Let's get it.
Say live. We back, huh? Yeah. Perfect. Hey, Cody. I was in the mirror, looking for the plug. Microwave look like natural bitch caverns from cooking up the drugs. And my sharks be in the water, be looking for the blood. When we be busting, a nigga need help. putting in the slugs. Yeah. You wouldn't if you could, my nigga be bossed up in the caddy. And the bread, we can see your head like we play for Cincinnati. And my best partner died like Ricky in the alley. A nigga couldn't slide me if he stick me in some balance. Yeah, good boy for real. Now you live with live Ola. If it ain't about $1, I don't give a single iota. And when I went down, she didn't give a fuck if I wrote her.
Yo, welcome back from that music video. Hope you enjoyed it. Definitely artists, definitely send over your music videos. Like, share, subscribe to that artist. There are videos in our link in the description. Definitely jump on that. This is your boy Jay Alamo. Welcome to the Plug Podcast 11.
You already know President Hugh. What up? What up? What up?
And as you could probably see on our screen, we got a
8-time PBA champion, 2-time Finals MVP.
Okay.
We talking about a top 10 pick.
Okay.
All right, we talking about a legend in the Philippines.
Yes.
Nothing like this has ever been on the plug. Some people compare him to Kobe. We talking about the late great Kobe. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Talking about.
Hold up. The half court buzzer beating
we all
state champion.
Hey, you know,
Chris Ross.
Chris Ross, baby.
Podcast.
That's what's up.
Welcome.
That's what's up.
Welcome to the podcast, Chris. We are so excited to have you a part of it. How you living,
sir.
man?
Hey, that shot was 17 years ago. Some people watching this might not have been alive when that happened.
You ain't lying. Wow.
Man, that was I remember watching that, and we gonna get into a little bit more of that. Watching that live on Dugas Road, right here on Marbach. Watching you hit that fucking half court shot. We're gonna get into that. So, man, how you living? How's life? How's quarantine? How are things going for you?
Shit, I'm cool, bro. Just been out here. We actually started up our season in March. We had like the opening ceremonies and stuff, and then we played the opening day, and then 2 days later we went on whole city lockdown. So
man,
ever since then, I think the date was like March 12th.
Yeah.
Ever since then, I've been in the house. So it's going on 4 months?
Yeah, at least 4 months.
That is wild.
So, as a ball player, I know you've been itching. Oh man, I know you've been itching. What are some of the things you're doing to stay in shape and prepare for? Lord knows when that season starts up.
Yeah.
All I've known is hoop my whole life, and even when I had torn my ACL a couple years back. And even when I tore my ACL, I could still at least touch the ball and feel the ball a little bit. But the last 4 months, I haven't touched the ball. I haven't got any shots up, nothing, bro. So it's like I'm out of my element right now. I'm out of my element. But I've just been trying new stuff. Like I started distance running, trying to get some miles in, trying to get it every other day. Just got some little weights downstairs. Try to keep some strength up, and like I said, I've been doing yoga too, so just trying to change up some things and try to stay ready as much as possible.
Yeah. So what you watching on TV? I know you gotta watch some type of TV with all this spare time in your hand. What you got on the Netflix or on the TV these days?
Man, honestly, bro, I've been watching a lot of like. I had recently watched like an Emmett Till documentary.
Wow.
Just trying to stay in the moment. Trying to stay away from like any fictional stuff right now. Just trying to educate myself on things that happened in the past with everything going on right now. So just trying to stay in the moment.
Man, that's very good. Very good to hear. One of the things I know you love Jordan. Have you had an opportunity to watch the Last Dance documentary?
I did. I was one of the ones that watched the leaked episode. So
okay.
I know people weren't watching the leaked ones, but I had to.
As far as that documentary goes, one of the things you took away from Jordan was one of the things that you didn't know that you came out knowing a little bit more about.
The one thing that kind of stuck out to me was how much money he made compared to the rest of his team. He was making like $35 million a year, and the next dude was making like $4 million a year. And that was just crazy to me. It was crazy to me.
That's true.
But he just his competitive drive, man, like wanting to be the best, trying to bring everybody along with him, even if even if it did result to sometimes punching someone in the mouth or pushing someone. So he was a get it at all costs kind of dude.
Yeah. One of the things that I wanted to jump into before we get into a little bit more about basketball, one of the biggest things I took away from the documentaries was his father's impact, how his relationship with his dad was and how important it was to him. Knowing a little bit more about you, I know you're a very family-oriented person. Sure. How would you say your family impacts you and the way you play ball and how you carry yourself?
My family is everything to me. I'm the youngest in my family, so growing up, I always had someone to look up to. So my brother's 6 years older than I am. My sister's 3 years older than I am. And then my dad had always been in the gym. He played on like the base in the base leagues and stuff that I got to go watch. And he used to take me to on base to the gym when I was 3 years old, and I would just be that kid on the side, that little kid on the sideline, nagging people, trying to help me shoot at the 10-foot rim when I'm not even up to someone's knee. So I mean, they played a huge role into who I am today. They've pushed me like, you know how big brothers are. They push you to the brink. They test you. And my dad's been that role model for me, but also my sister, how strong of a woman she is. And everybody knows what kind of when you have your mom in your life, that she's everything to you. So just I get a little bit of everything from all of them, and without them, I wouldn't be who I am right now.
Man, amen to that. What you got, President? You got a question for Ross here?
Well, I guess we could talk about it, because we've seen a lot of your charity work and you giving back to the community. So we kind of know the integrity you bring. And I was able to read through your Slam magazine article that was written on you, your quotes and all that stuff, talking about the George Floyd situation. Well, you want to go ahead and read through it?
Read through it a little bit
so
for the audience.
I'm going to quote you. You said, "Black skin is a weapon in the United States. People with the darker skin get looked at different in the Philippines as well. I've been called names by certain people, local guys as far as Calvin or CJ or even Jason Castro. Those guys have been called names just because their skin's dark. So it's a crime at a lot of places just to be a darker skin, and it's heartbreaking." Of course, coming up as a black man within the United States, I can relate to that on so many different levels. And I was wondering, like, from your experiences on the court and like just dealing with, I guess you would be not really a foreigner anymore, but back then when you like first got overseas, how would you say it was racially different? How did they treat you in the Philippines?
I mean, just coming over, I was always looked at differently just because they call us, as far as the half breeds, they call us Phil foreign.
Wow.
Or Phil American, so Phil am. So I'd always been looked at differently because I don't speak the language and I don't look like them. So, and it didn't help that I was probably a little further along talent-wise, skill-wise, that they would look at me differently and treat me differently. But as far as people that weren't on my team, but the guys that were on my team, I got to build a nice relationship with because they're with me every day and they see the type of person I am. But the guys from the outside, they just look at me as this Phil foreigner that's coming here trying to take their job. You know what I'm saying? So, it was tough. It was tough when I first got out here, as far as like just trying to incorporate myself into the culture out here. And me being of darker skin than they are, I would get called names and get laughed at because my skin was a little darker. But if it don't break you, it only makes you stronger, right? Yeah. So I just use those as fuel on the court, and just like whenever someone would come at me like that, I'll just try to go at them on the court and let my game do the talking.
We've seen
So
some of those highlights. You know,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
we
So
see you.
He ain't
yeah,
doing
so it
Going
was
up from deep, killing
yeah,
people. Yeah,
it's cool though, man.
that must have been what fueled that one game. He hit like 10 threes in one game, just back to back to back. I was like,
I
this
saw that.
dude is
I
something
did.
else.
We had to do our
Yeah,
research, Ross.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Besides you being our
I
legend,
like it. Yeah, I like it.
Mm. And
Y'all came to the test prepared.
oh
yes,
yeah,
sir.
for sure. And also, I would like to also say, what's the contrast of the Philippines to because you grew up here in Texas. You know, Texas is
Yeah.
definitely a very conservative state. How would you say compared to like growing up as a Texan and how they treated you? Also, you know, I would like to see that side of things contrasted to the
The
Philippines.
Philippines. Good
Yeah.
It's a completely different. It's completely different because in Texas, there's such a history to how we were treated back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like there
Yeah.
was a hate towards people like us, people of color.
Yeah.
Out here in the Philippines, there's no hate towards towards black people. There's just they're not educated on the fact, so they don't
feel you.
understand. They don't understand the like if they were to say a certain word or say something about your skin color, they don't understand. They're not educated on that. They don't get taught Texas history or U.S. history here. You know what I'm saying? They get taught
That's
Filipino
true.
history. But in
Got it.
Texas and in the States, it's different because there's such a hate that the people of not of color built for us people
Yep.
of color. And
Generation.
It's just two different, yeah, it's just two different things.
I feel you.
Absolutely. No, a great question. And I mean, just to kind of, touch a little bit more on the George Floyd, thing that we have going on. Have you ever faced anything as far as police, I won't say, brutality, but, face some
Definitely
things,
discrimination and
against the police.
wrong treatment.
And then, B, what do you hope everyone takes from the George Floyd situation and what's going on in the world right now?
Well, one, to answer your first question, I have been like part of some police brutality. You know how back in the day people used to go to Mama Margie's after a club.
Oh, yep.
And me and a few of my homies were there. This story might get kind of long because it's.
Hey man,
no,
I gotta hear this one.
Talk to us.
So, me and a couple of my homies were there, and one of my homies' girlfriend and her friend. So it was about 6 of us, 4 dudes and 2 girls. 2 girls that I had never met till that night. And then we were going to Mama Margie's, and there was a dude and his girl walking out while we were coming in. And the dude says something to one of my homies, like, yo, like, talk crazy to him, like, yo, you looking at my girl? I'm like, bro, we don't want any problems. We're gonna go in here and eat. Y'all leaving, so that's cool. Just like that. I was the peacemaker. Julian, you know me, you know what I'm saying? So the cops came up to me and like, yo, you starting trouble? You need to get out of here.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Come straight at me. You starting trouble, you need to get out here. I was like, man, we're not starting no trouble. We just trying to eat. Yeah. And then he's like, y'all need to leave.
What?
So we go to the car, and we waited for about 10, 15 minutes, and then we go back in. And you know how Mama Margie used to be, the line was out the door. So we waiting. We come back about 15 minutes later. We waiting in line. I'm in line for about 20, 30 minutes, about to order my tacos. Right. And then right when I'm about to order, the cop comes up to me and he's like, hey, didn't I tell you to leave? And I put my hands up like this. I'm like, yeah, all right, I'm leaving. So I start I'm like backpedaling out the door, and he's pushing me in my chest. Like,
wow.
Like here in my chest, bro. Like, out the door.
Wow.
So I'm like, all right, I'm gone. Yeah. And then as soon as we get outside, dude starts wrestling me to the floor. I ain't do nothing. Yeah. Dude starts wrestling me to the floor, and I was a lot bigger than him. Yeah. A lot bigger than the dude. So he kind of struggled. I wasn't fighting back, no nothing. Yeah. And then he finally gets me to the floor, and then the girls that were with us that night, they helped me. They ain't even know. They just met me a couple hours ago. They on the floor trying to help me. Like, yo, he ain't do nothing. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So they ended up taking all 3 of us to jail. And then fast forward a little bit, I go to court, and I read the police report, and the police report said I was resisting arrest. That was my charge, resisting arrest. But the description that the cop wrote was I punched him and snatched off his badge.
Wow.
Yeah. So I talked to my lawyer. I had hired a lawyer, a family friend, and he's like, this doesn't add up. Like, if you punch this officer and snatched off his badge, and your charge is only resisting arrest, that doesn't add up. Your charge should be like assaulting an officer of the law or something like that. So he was like, man, you told me what happened. There's people there that can vouch for you. We're just gonna wait. We're just gonna wait it out. We're gonna see if this cop will come. The cop never showed up to court, and so the judge kept pushing the case back. Yeah. So one morning I'm driving home. It's like 8 in. I'm driving home, going 30. I'm going like 38 and a 35. I get pulled over. And the cops see I have a resisting arrest charge on my thing. So 2 cops come, tell me to get out the car, and they point their guns at me.
Dang, off the bat? Wow.
Off the bat. Not like they didn't come up to the car, no nothing. He called for backup right off top. Just like, bro, like when I tell you like the cops behind me, he pulled me over. Another cop comes from like a block away, speeding down the road. I'm like, bro, I'm happy because I'm thinking that they're going to get someone else. Yeah. He speeds up right in front of my car, and they both get out with their guns out on me.
Oh my God.
Imagine it's 8:30 in the morning. People going to work. They didn't care. I'm scared for my life. I have my hand. They tell me get out. I have my hands up. I'm scared for my life, man. Eyes closed, like just praying that they ain't gonna shoot me. Because I mean, we all know these stories that we. People
man,
go
this is.
What happened? I mean, I'm pretty sure you know, but like a lot of people out there looking as fans and stuff like that. Like, your story will never been written in history like how it is now. If one little thing went wrong, you know, if anything, you flinched a little bit, you decide to talk. Yeah. And it's like, that's crazy. Somebody like you, like I said, considered a legend. Yeah. Could have that easily been erased from history because of how he looks, you know? Man. And stuff like that, we see all these young black men potentially, you know, could have grown up to do great things. Yeah. And we never get to see the light of day. Man. I appreciate that story.
You see how it goes from like a cop lying on a black man trying to bring him down to the next cop coming in and not knowing what's going on. So it's like a snowball effect.
Not trying to de-escalate, not trying to be a mediator or nothing. He just assumed, oh, well, since he's being aggressive, since my partner's being aggressive, then you know what, I gotta be aggressive too, clearly. Yeah. And it's like, that's what people always talk about, the bad apples, you know, bleed over to more bad apples, and you have situation right there, like, showing.
It can happen
years ago.
It can happen, you know.
Yeah. When I tell you, I ain't never been in trouble in school, never got written up, never got sent to the office.
And that's why I don't get it, because it's like, we can tell who you are. Your record shows. Your record proves more than enough.
Yeah, more than enough.
And the good things that you've done, they could care less, just because the skin that you wear on you, you know, throughout your life, you can't do anything about that. They're willing to take you out just because of that.
So, I mean, with everything, with the George Floyd, your experiences, my experiences, what do you really hope that, you know, people come away understanding from this George Floyd situation and what we're trying to push? What do you hope everyone comes away with?
I mean, I feel like something in me makes me think that something's different right now. Like after George Floyd, like so many different people from so many different cultures are coming together as one and trying to, and they're behind the whole movement. But honestly, it doesn't, like, they can as many people can get on board. It's just really the people that are in charge, the leaders, the president, the governors of the states that are in charge of this thing that have to do the changing, because a lot of people say that the system's broken, but the system's not broken. The system's never been broken. The system is built how they want it, exactly how they want it. It's never been broken. It's built for Black people not to succeed.
That's crazy.
And, so as long as the people the system isn't changed, then there's not going to be any. There won't be any movement going forward, because we'll be stuck in the same. I was looking through my phone yesterday from 2014 from the Eric Garner, the I Can't Breathe, and 6 years later it's the same thing. So they're like, it's just unfortunate that it's just like people like to say history repeats itself.
Yeah.
But when it's something bad like this, you kind of hope for something different. But
finally, we make the right turn towards history that we finally need. And if you're a supporter out there of the Black Lives Matter movement, keep pushing. Don't stop. Don't let up, because I said this on the last podcast. People thought, oh my God, what are they doing? They're just going out there and protesting. It's not going to get anything done. Yeah. But like I said, police stations are starting to change their law or their rules. Certain cities are starting to change their legislation. Now we're making the what is it, the no knock policy, where what happened to Breonna Taylor, where they broke into her house in the middle of the night and shot her dead. That's abolished. You can no longer do that. So when people get out on these streets and they hear us loud enough, it's going to start being able to bring change, and we need to keep it up.
Absolutely. And before we jump
to
that music video, as you being a little bit of both Filipino and African American, I mean, can you tell what is your message to everyone on your end before we get into this next music video? What's one message you want to give them?
Just, man, like, for me, like, pretty much people know what's right and what's wrong. Yeah. Like, no one's dumb enough to not know what's wrong and what's right. Like, you know what's wrong and what's right. And I just feel like people just need to act like adults, man, and treat people how you want to be treated. At the end of the day, you need to treat people how you want to be treated. Like, and if you do that, more people do that, then I feel like the world will be in a better place. If you just treat the next person with the same respect that you want to be treated with, then there's endless possibilities in this world.
Absolutely. I dig it. So shout out to Chris Ross. He ain't going nowhere no time soon. We still got a little bit more to get into, definitely a lot more to get into with Chris Ross. We appreciate you joining us, Plug Podcast 11. Let's jump into this music video real quick, and we'll be back with C. Ross.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey! Yeah, Snoop 300. Hey! Wow. Cut the check. Give me my respect. East side, I rep that hold it down. Cut the check. Give me my respect. East side, I rep that hold it down. Cut the check. Give me my respect. East side, I rep that hold it down. Cut the check. Give me my respect. East side, I rep that hold it down. Ayy, cut the check. Give me my respect.
Yo, welcome back from that music video. Artists continue to sing over those music videos so we can get some more views on those videos y'all working hard on. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Plug Podcast. This is Podcast 11 with Chris Ross.
Oh, yes.
We just getting started. We're just getting warmed up. So definitely great last segment, Chris. We really do appreciate that. And, you know, you speaking on some of your experiences yourself firsthand. Very good for the audience to know a little bit more about that. Let's talk a little bit more about you as the ball player San Antonio legend himself. Let's start off in high school. Like you said, a lot of people tuning in. This is almost 17 years ago.
It was 18. It was 2002.
Oh my, 18. Man,
Dang.
you hurting me even more because we haven't brought one back home to San Antonio since then. Man, tell us a little bit more about that half court shot to win state. What was going through your mind when you shot that shot, and how did that shit make you feel when you knocked it down?
Well, shit, it was my only bucket of the weekend. I was like,
What?
yeah, cause I was sick though. Like no one, like only the team knew this. Like I was sick, like sick
Yeah.
as a dog. Like halftime, taking off my jersey and just laying on the floor. Like
Yeah.
I was sick as a dog. And but that shot is crazy, man. Like even till now, every time I see it, it gives me chills.
Man.
Like how pure the shot was. Like all net, no rim, no backboard, just all net. And especially to do it like against Dallas Kimball, that a team that's beat Jay time and time again in the state tournament.
Man.
So and it was against AC Law. I played with AC Law in the summer.
Wow.
In the summer league, was some in AAU. So it was dope, man. It definitely gave us that spotlight. Like I felt like we were already like we were well known in the city because we like just how we used to go to different open gyms and just run, like go to everybody's open gym and run them out the gym. So everybody knew us, but that kind of just took us to another level.
And just before I jump to another question I do have, it's so important for kids to learn and understand team chemistry in high school. Tell us a little bit more about that team, about John Jay. How did y'all build that chemistry, and how did y'all build a brotherhood overall?
Man, we like most of us had known each other for like even before high school. We had known each other for 10 years, 10, 12 years. So
yeah,
we had known each other our whole life, and our elder brothers went to Jay, and we just were into the culture, like the whole culture. Like my brother was one of the guys that invented Wu-Tang. Like,
yeah.
you went to Jay, you know Wu-Tang, you know what I'm saying? Like my brother was one of the guys that invented Wu-Tang in like 96, 95, 96.
Holla. Yeah.
So, and even before then, like I used to go watch Jay play when they had dudes like Teddy Britton, like back in the day, that early 90s. So
man, Marbach,
like
what
we
up?
just had Marbach, baby. We just had such a pride in that school, bro. And then like us as players, we kicked it all the time. Like we weren't just at practice. Like during lunch, we'll go to the homie Jeff's crib and eat over there, or people will come to my crib. We'll go to Evers. Like we was at Evers playing hooping at midnight. You know what I'm saying? Like on a school night, we outside at Evers, 10 of us hooping till 2. And we got to go to school in the morning. So like we was just always around each other. And we like everybody thought it was a fluke that we was gonna win, that we wanted, but we knew we was gonna win from when we were freshmen. When they were sophomores, I was a freshman. We were like, man, when we get that opportunity to go to state, we gonna win. Like and our record when we won state wasn't that good. We were like 27-8, but our whole team was like, we had never had our whole team the whole year. We weren't a full team. Like people were hurt or people were not on the team. So I think when we had our whole team, we were like 15-1 or something, like something crazy. Like no one could really beat us when we were at full strength.
Yeah,
we just knew we were gonna win. Like we had this confidence about ourselves that every time out, like we was gonna run people out the gym. So it was just dope.
And that's very important for, teams to know, and up and coming players to know that in order to get that kind of success, it's going to take a team effort. A lot of people want to think like, oh, you could do it 1 or 2 players. Man, John Jay was a full team. I mean, I want to say 4 to 5 of y'all ended up going to play Division I, 4. To play, Division I basketball. So a very, very good basketball team as well. That half-court shot, did it get nominated for like an ESPY or something like that? I want to say something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy because I just watched the ESPYs the other day. And so like ever since then, like I got nominated for an ESPY. But ever since then, I like, even before that, I was watching the ESPYs, but now ever since that shot, like I try to make sure I watch the SP and see who wins the bet, because I got nominated for best play.
Yeah.
And I think the one when I was there, I actually went to the ESPYs in Hollywood, and it was a dope experience, man.
Man.
And,
Tell us a little bit more.
Man,
Nah, don't run from that one. Tell us a little bit more about going to the ESPYs and being around like so many of those professional athletes, man.
Man, I was 17 years old, and they had flew. I was already in LA because I was doing a camp.
Yeah.
So they just put me in a hotel on Hollywood Boulevard, and had a nice suite, like plushed out suite. And then like everyone that pretty much attended the ESPYs was there. Like,
yeah.
When I'll get on the elevator, like James Worthy was in my elevator, Tom Brady, just running into random people. Like,
yeah.
And Samuel L. Jackson was the host.
Yeah.
And he had a private party at the hotel after. And I was in there thinking like I was a grown ass man. I was 17 years old, little ass kid. First time I ever had alcoholic beverages, bro. Like back to back to back. I had seven like Belvedere and cranberries. 17 years old in there, like just looking at everybody. They looking at me like, this little dude ordering cranberry vodkas.
He's like, I'm getting it.
I was in there thinking I was in the league, like right next to Tom Brady. And
man,
wow.
It was crazy.
That is a hell of an experience. Definitely.
And that was before the iPhone, so I couldn't really just take the phone out and take pictures.
Oh yeah.
That was back in the Nokia days. So
you couldn't get all the pictures. Your Instagram would have been blasted.
They all up here though. It's all mental pictures.
Hey, man. Well, so from high school, you went to college. I want to say it was McLennan, and then you went.
I went to Panola first, and then McLennan.
Okay. So before we jump into a little bit more about where you ended your college career, it sounds like there's a lot of opportunity in between. You said you went to junior colleges, and then you went to your Division I school, Marshall.
Yep.
Where was your opportunity? When was the opportunity for Chris Ross to feel like he was a Division I player to get that offer to Marshall?
Yeah, I felt like I was always a D1 guy. Because in high school I had like, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I had like multiple D1 offers for football.
Yeah, so, absolutely, yeah.
And I had multiple offers D1 football, but basketball was like my love. Like I loved basketball, especially after hitting the shot, winning state, making all-state team, state tournament MVP, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really getting the love from the schools I wanted. I was getting small schools. Like, the only D1 I had at the time was Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and they were an independent school.
Got it.
And I felt like I could play at a higher level, especially with the football schools that recruited me. I was like, man, I feel like I can play at that level as far as basketball. Because when I went on my football visits, I was asking them, like, yo, can I walk on the basketball team too? Like, would that be a problem with y'all? And none of them really had a problem with it. But when I went to JUCO, I went to JUCO just because I didn't have the offers. I was a qualifier. Like I could have went to a D1 school if I had the opportunity. But my first year at JUCO, I had multiple D1 offers, and none of them really was the one I wanted to go to. But at the end of my freshman year, I had University of Houston that offered me, and I was gonna commit, but the coach got fired, so they pulled my scholarship. Yeah. And it would have been dope because my brother was going to school there. I could have been hooping there. He could have been going to school.
Yeah.
And another kind of a bigger school that offered me was St. Mary's, California. And I'm feeling like they offered me after my freshman year and my sophomore year. And I was thinking back, like I think if I would have went to St. Mary's, I probably could have got some league looks because after me, they had Patty Mills and Della Vadova were the two PGs after me.
Wow.
So and that coach loved me too. Like he offered me my freshman year, offered me my second year, and then after that he brought in Della Vadova and Patty Mills.
Oh.
But yeah, Marshall came. it was crazy how Marshall got on me because they went to my game and they weren't even there to see me.
Yeah.
And they were going to see the PG I was playing against, and I went at him like in JUCO, man, it's a grind. Like you playing against high level D1 guys almost every night. People that are gonna play D1 or D1 transfers. So if you didn't come with it, like you was gonna get embarrassed. So we had some schools in the some D1s watching us this game, and I went at dude. Like he was one of the top prospects in Texas as far as JUCO because he was like a 6'5" PG, kind of could do everything. And I went at him, and then the Marshall coach talked to me after, and they followed me for the next 3 weeks. He stayed in Texas and traveled with my team pretty much and watched all our games, and they fell in love with me, and they offered me, and they were, the good thing about them is they were making a leap to Conference USA the next year. So I felt like I could play in Conference USA. They have like, Conference USA has like 4 or 5 schools in Texas, or I think 4. So my family was gonna be able to see me. It was far away from home. I wanted to be away from home.
Yeah.
And so it was just a good opportunity.
That's really good. So I mean, you want to speak a little bit more about college and college lessons that you learned that you kind of take to you still to this day, as far as what you learned in college?
Well, the JUCO grind is different, man.
Yeah.
Like you gotta get it how you live in JUCO. Like it's grimy. It's grimy out there. So ever since then, like I had the work ethic before then, but at JUCO your work ethic has to be on another level just to get where you want to be. And then when you get to D1, like it's just times 10, times even more intense because it's such a big business. The sports is such a big business in Division I that you have to grind. Like you have to be in the gym as much as you can. You have to get your schoolwork done. And it's kind of made me the man that I am now, as far as like making sure I'm on top of everything, making sure my schedule's tight, making sure my priorities are right.
Good. Got one from Chris?
I really want to let's jump to the top 5 point guard question.
Okay, give it to him.
So I mean, all of us here, everybody here, huge fans of point guards, basketball.
Yep.
You know, we fanatics, especially me. I watch it all the way down to its core. And my favorite position is a point guard. I know you play that position. I know you kill in that position. You murder dudes. I've seen you. I want to know, throughout all history, I'll let you pick. It don't matter from the beginning all the way. It don't matter the league.
I like this.
I want to know your top 5 point guards in basketball.
Good question. And why?
5 to 1.
Yeah, and give us a little reason why.
Ranked, like my top 5.
Yours.
Let's try it.
Nobody else's.
Come on.
You know.
I'm gonna start at number 1.
Okay. All right.
Number 1 for me is Penny Hardaway.
Ooh, he's up there with me too.
I like that.
He's my favorite player even till now. Like he had everything at 6'8". He could shoot the 3. He could shoot the mid range. He was a great passer.
Yes,
he could play defense. He could finish at the rim. Like there was nothing he couldn't do.
Yes, sir.
He was,
I like that.
I love Penny, man.
So Penny taking that top spot. That's gonna be all right.
His shoe game was crazy too.
Oh yeah.
The Penny ones, man.
Before we jump into your final 4, you love shoes. You shoe fanatic. What your favorite pair of shoes that you own right now? And it's a big category, by the way.
Yeah, he's Team Nike, right?
Nike. Yeah, I actually was gonna do this Zoom call in my shoe room, man, but it's overwhelming in there. Like,
oh, you gotta send us a pic so we can share with the podcast, man. Just send us a picture.
I'll take y'all up there with me, right?
Let's go.
But my favorite shoe of all time. Is I'm a Jordan fanatic.
Okay.
So I'm always Concord, Jordan 11 Concord, black and white,
Nice pick.
original, because I think they changed the game of shoes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
The 11.
this is my shoe ring right here.
Ooh.
Yes, sir. Damn.
Clean
yes,
and
sir.
pristine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'll take at least 3 or 4. My address to the Plug Podcast is
I know, right? God.
Yeah, so this is it right here.
So you said 11 is your favorite Jordan shoe. Your favorite shoe in general.
Yeah, I got so many pair of the Concord, so I customized some of them. Like I customized these Nipsey Hussle.
Man, is that
So-
Nipsey right there? Was that all
Yeah,
money? All money in?
Yeah, that was
What?
a Nipsey Hussle custom right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Nasty.
yeah.
Shout out to Ross for that.
that was
shoe selection.
Yeah, so the 11, the
you have the
Concord
most
11
of?
is my favorite shoe.
Hell yeah! What shoe do you have the most of? Is the 11 also the shoe you have the most of? All colors?
Yeah, I got probably every color of 11. I got a lot of the Jordan 1s.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got a lot, man.
Man, nasty. 4. Who's number 4 number two?
Number 2.
Okay, number 2.
Number 2,
On this list.
J Kidd. I like Jason Kidd.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Another well-rounded
Point
legendary
guard.
point guard. Okay.
And they had each other in Phoenix.
Wow, that's right.
J Kidd was like he brought that Nets team to the finals, bro. People don't even know who was on that Nets team anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And his progression as a player, like he went from all pass first into I think he's like top 5 in 3-pointers made in his career. So
yes, correctly.
So J Kidd is in there.
And to kind of speak a little bit on J Kidd at number 2.
I'd say he's underrated.
Yeah, very underrated point guard. Definitely underrated. But I mean, for example, for yourself, like you mentioned a little bit of career progression. How did your career kind of progress? Almost similar to Jason Kidd's a little bit.
Same like that, man. Like I just put in a lot of hard work. As far as like, I was always a pass first kind of guy. I think I got that from I was always played with elder people. So
yeah.
A lot of the elder people was like, "Hey, you better not shoot that. Like, give me the rock." You know what I'm saying? Like, so I always played up. So I was always like the giver.
Yeah.
And out here, the progression was I played with one of the most dominant bigs that's ever played. So he gets a lot of double teams. So we just spread the floor and we got to shoot and make shots. So I just dedicated myself in the gym of just getting so many shots up and just getting my jumper right because I knew that would take us to the next level.
Yeah, we seen them threes raining in.
Oh yeah. Drilling.
Number 3.
Number 3, I'm keeping it kind of 90s and on because
I got you.
I didn't get to see I saw like John Stockton a little bit and I saw Magic a little bit, but I didn't really get to see them like that. So I'm gonna keep it like 90s and on.
I got you.
I would probably throw. I love Darren Williams' game. He's a Texas boy. He was
Dallas.
Oh yeah.
He was a problem. D. Will was a problem.
I think Utah was the biggest problem with Carlos Boozer, and the Nets. He played pretty solid, but I think that was kind of his slope, right?
It was him and Chris Paul. They were.
It was.
Yeah, it was them for.
They was the same draft, and everybody was like, it was the argument: who's better, D. Will or Chris Paul? And I felt like every time they played, D. Will would kill him every time.
Man,
it's crazy, right?
That was a hell of a number. That was a good ass pick. Shout out Darren Williams. Shout out Texas.
Yeah.
4. Yeah, I got to throw my Texas boy in there. Who else would I put in?
So we got Pitt, Williams.
That's a good one.
I like that. That's very sneaky.
I would probably put someone like I mean, if you're talking PG, you really can't keep Chris Paul off that list as far as
Oh no,
Correct.
yeah.
Correct.
you can't
I was
keep
gonna
Chris
see.
Point
I was
guard.
gonna see how you go teeter
Point
totter on
guard.
that one because I mean, like we mentioned just a second ago, Williams and Paul was that biggest conversation for at least a good 5-season span.
Yeah.
5 or 6.
It was. I think it was his ankle injuries that started
Yeah.
making him.
Yeah.
Fine.
Good. And what do you like about Chris Paul? I mean, is there anything about Chris Paul that predicates to your game that you kind of taken away from him?
His IQ for the game. He knows where everybody needs to be. I think he had a 20 assist, no turnover game a couple of years ago.
Oh my god.
And he's all a whole, like, he's all of 6 feet. He's just a dog, you know what I'm saying? He's a dog, and he's probably one of the biggest competitors in the league.
Yeah.
And you see what he's done. Like, he went to OKC. OKC was
I believe that.
And he has him as a playoff contender. So everywhere he's been, the team's won.
I love Chris Paul.
You know, honestly, I thought that trade from Houston to the Thunder was going to be very devastating for him. I felt like he was like,
what are you going to do with that?
Yeah.
You know?
What'd you go do with Oklahoma, and how are you going to take that team? Westbrook is young, athletic, a lot of energy, high energy player. How's Chris Paul going to take a team like that and put him in play?
And show you what leadership
around.
is. Leadership matters.
That's crazy. That was crazy. To round off your top 5, Chris, you got one more slot. We got Pink, we got Kidd, we got Williams, we got Paul.
He's 4 for 4 now.
You 4 for 4. What you got
All
for that last one?
I'm gonna throw y'all in the blender right here.
Yeah.
Probably some of y'all probably don't even this will probably be the last person y'all think, but
Steve Blake.
Nah. but I have honorable mention is Kyrie, because I love that Kyrie is a bucket.
Hey,
I love that he's a bucket.
I like that.
But Kyrie gets a lot of his game from this man. And this man used to play in San Antonio. And Rod Strickland.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
That was a good. That was a very under the radar. I mean, he's starting to become a lot more known due to Kyrie's success. Correct? Kyrie is like mentor. I mean, Rod Strickland's his mentor. And
I think that's his godfather or something.
Yeah. And he played for the Spurs. Man, he don't know nothing about them Spurs. What you know about them Spurs? Well, so what about Steph Curry? You left Steph Curry and Westbrook off this list. Talk about those two players.
I love Westbrook. He can get up there, but I mean, I have nothing bad to say about Westbrook. He comes with it every single night. Like, I would pay to go see Westbrook play, because you know that he's gonna give it his all. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna, even if he has a bad night, his effort's not gonna be bad, and I love that. Like, I love that. The dude signed $200 million contracts.
Man,
He's out there playing like he's 15 years old on the blacktop. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And Steph, I feel like Steph's a 2 guard. Like,
I could see that. Yeah.
I feel like Steph's more of a shooting guard than he is a point guard.
I agree with that.
Yeah, he's changed the game, especially for point guards, like in the NBA.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, even kids, you got kids try to pull up from deep airballing and stuff. Like,
I feel like Steph and Iverson are like the same. Like, they were both 2 guards, but they're small, so you kind of got to play them at the 1.
Yeah, I feel
like,
you.
AI's a 2, Steph's a 2. Yeah.
I feel you. I dig that list, though. I dig that list.
Shout out to Chris Ross for that top 5 point guard list. I don't think we're going to have a legendary list like that one. And definitely coming from the IQ that you've been playing with in your current and, most recent experience. Tell us a little bit more about PBA and draft night, when you got drafted, and how things took off for you, man. This has been a hell of a ride, obviously, from 8-time champ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the draft day was dope. I knew I knew more so when I was gonna get drafted. There was a 6'10" really athletic dude that was probably gonna go number one, and it was between me and another forward dude, about 6'8" dude, lanky, that can kind of do everything. That the second team was deciding on, and I wasn't gonna fall past number 3. It was cool, man. It was a dope feeling. Since I didn't get to live out my NBA dream, draft day, I kind of got to do it here in the PBA.
Yeah.
But it was dope, man. To hear your name called. My mom was there with me. My mom's born and raised here in the Philippines.
Nice.
For her to be here with me and for me to spend that day with her, it was dope for not only me, but for her and her family as well.
Absolutely. So as far as your career, you 8-time champ. Is there any
Done it all.
Is there any championship that stands out to you and more near and dear? I mean, as a champion, you probably like all of them are near and dear.
Yeah.
But any of them that you feel like made you more aggressive towards
What
Legacy.
people always say, like, I feel like when you got championships like that, it's kind of like asking someone who's your favorite kid, right?
Yeah.
There's no favorite one, but one of them that sticks out is we were down 0-3 and won. We came back, we won 4 straight. It had never been done before in league history. I think it's only been done like 2 or 3 other times in all of sports. I think in the MLB it happened with the Yankees.
Yeah.
I think in the NHL it happened once. But we did it. We were down 0-3 and won 4 straight. So,
whoa!
And I got Finals MVP of that one too. So that was probably one that sticks out.
What do you say, LeBron 3-1? Who?
Yeah, I know. Even LeBron couldn't do that. Shoot.
Bron was 3-1. You had a game up on me, dog.
So I mean, what did it take for y'all to get y'all come back from 0-3? It seems like the window was pretty much shut at that point when you're going into Game 4. I mean, what kept y'all rolling to get 4 in a row? Even that.
I was honestly just trying to keep everybody like on the same page, keep everybody motivated, knowing that anything could happen. Like one game can change the tune of a series, especially out here. Like out here, we don't have a home court. Everybody plays on one court. Gotcha. So as long as we could get the crowd behind us, I felt like we can make a run for it, because it wasn't like in those 3 games we were getting blown out. All of them were close games, and it could have went either way. So, but we knew we couldn't slip up. And actually, in Game 4, we were down, I think, 10 with 3 minutes left, and they were already celebrating. And they were trying to, I think, on the jumbotron in the gym, they were trying to figure out who was going to be the Finals MVP.
Wow.
Then we made a little run at the end of that game and ended up winning in overtime. But yeah, man, just trying to keep everybody motivated and keep everybody on the same page. Anything can happen.
Man, that sounds like adrenaline rush, man. Like,
yeah,
man, that's
be in that mode.
Yeah,
that thought
all those games. I don't know. So that's really good. And as far as your career right now, where do you stand right now? How many more years do you feel you can give to the game? You're currently 35. How much longer do you feel like you can continue to play?
Man, I feel like I can play as long as I want, because I take care of my body. I recently, like, I think for 2.5 years, I've been vegan. So it's helped my body. But I feel like I can go, man. I just signed a 2-year extension to my contract that kicks in September. So I at least got 2 more years. That'll put me to 30. That'll put me at 37. And I think I can go. Like as long as I stay healthy, I feel like I can compete. Because like I said, I take care of my body, and I put a lot into it. And mentally, I'm on top of my game. Physically, I'm probably not as fast or as quick as I was when I was 25. But basketball is all about angles and using your vet smarts and IQ. So I feel like I can go as long as I want.
There we go. No stopping, no time soon.
Yeah.
You heard it here.
So I mean, as you two-time PBA, MVP and 8-time champ, what kind of goals do you have? I mean, you say another 2 years, so almost like another 3 years in your career at least. What kind of goals, what kind of goals do you set for someone like you?
I mean, I still work as if I'm an incoming rookie. So
yeah,
none of that, like all my accolades that I have, all the championships I have, they go out the window when it's time to work. So I go out every time I step on that court, every time I go in the weight room, every time I'm out there getting extra shots up, I'm working like I'm an incoming rookie trying to earn my minutes. So
I like that. I like that thought process.
So it sounds like a championship at least.
Trying, bro. That's the goal.
Anything else you got for Chris Ross?
No, man. Hey, if you get another one under your belt, you know I'm gonna be bragging about that. I'm like, yeah, I was talking to him, before he won his latest championship. You know what I'm saying? We were chilling on the beat. No, I'm playing. We weren't doing all that. We weren't doing all that. But I do appreciate your insight in the mind of a legend.
So, I mean, I'm not going to let Ross off easy, man. He think he's about to get away from here, man. This is your boy, Jay Alamo. I got at least 2 more things for you, Ross. Let's talk about Kobe, the late great, the great, early great, the best, whatever you want to call Kobe Bean Bryant. His passing this year was very, very tragic on anybody that, I guess, plays sports.
Yeah.
How do you feel and how did that impact you being a ball player in particular?
Man, when I remember, I will always remember where I was when I got the news. I was at my sister's house on the couch, watching the Pro Bowl, and it just it was crazy, man. I got a message from one of my best friend's sons, and he told me, like, did I get the news? And he told me, and I was like, man, no way. And I just kept searching Twitter and kept seeing things, but it just felt weird, man, watching ESPN. And then when they finally broke the news, like, I cried like I lost someone that was near and dear. I've been around Kobe. When he came out here, I was around him, got to shake his hand, but never, like, he's Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just so many people that are connected to the game of basketball take so much from that man. His work ethic, his just how he was as a man, his everything. Like, he kind of made low cut shoes cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, he started that trend, and it was devastating for the basketball community, but I felt like it helped people get that much more of a hunger for the game. Yeah. Because they felt like everyone has that Mamba mentality in them. Everyone has a little bit of Kobe in them. And I felt like it's putting that hunger into a lot more people. And that's that to me is what legacy is about. I don't think legacy is about championships and MVPs and things like that. I think it's the impact you make on the people that look up to you. So he's had a huge impact, and his legacy is off the charts.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, rest in power, Kobe Bean Bryant. Definitely one of my favorite basketball players, definitely in that generation of, us growing up watching basketball. I know Chris Ross could definitely vouch for that. So, man, we really appreciate you taking the time out to sit on the podcast with us, chop it up with us. San Antonio's own, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Ross. Man, we got an exclusive shirt coming your way, so make sure you give us your address. We're gonna send you the plug shirt so everyone can know what you representing. You the plug. Hey, definitely all the damn shoes in the office. I know you got a plug somewhere.
Yes, sir.
So we'll definitely be sending that your way, man. How can people follow you and get a little bit more to get to know Chris Ross a little bit more? How can they follow you?
Follow me on IG. My IG is Chris M Ross 6. So just follow me on IG.
Yeah.
I'm pretty active on it. But yeah, I post. I got a Twitter account too, CMRoss6.
Yes, sir.
I'm actually more active on Twitter than I am IG.
So,
yeah, just follow me on those two social media platforms.
Yes, sir.
And get a glimpse into my life out here in the Philippines.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, man, I really appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Chris Ross. This has been the Plug Podcast 11. Is there anything else you want to leave off with the Ross before we let everyone go?
Man, just everyone love everybody. Everybody love one another, man. There's so much hate going on in this world. So much division. Just reach out to someone, man. Reach out to someone that doesn't look like you, and teach them, and have an open heart to people, have an open mind to people, and because that's the only way that we can push this culture forward, man. We only got we got one world, we got one life, and we got to make it better for the people coming behind us, our seeds, our kids, our kids' kids, and just spread more love, man, because hate's not a good thing.
Appreciate you, Chris Ross.
For sure.
Appreciate you, Chris Ross. This has been Plug Podcast 11. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, get at Chris Ross, follow him on Instagram as well as Twitter. This has been your boy Jay Alamo.
You already know President Q.
And our man Chris Ross. Marburg Reunion.
Hey.
The Plug Podcast 11.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, Ross.
Y'all used to have a cat. I can sit at the top. Y'all were playing at Paul Taylor versus Tab. And I don't know if it was just normal rivalry stuff or you had it out for him, but I remember you used to have your wrist tape or like a white tape or a wristband or something. So I took that from you, but I remember it was y'all were killing Tab. And before halftime, you ripped and went down and banged that bitch.
Yeah.
You were doing the time before him.
What?
So I remember, I think I was like 5th, 6th grade at that time. So I took that shit from you. You could ask Coach Ryan, my dad, at Lee, if we played against another team that had a good guard, I would take my fucking wrist and write their name on it every time I get a steal.